Straight Talk on WRHI FM 100.1 and CN2 is presented by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now here's Manning Kimmel broadcasting live from Substation 2 on Cherry Road in Rock Hill with Straight Talk, selected by the South Carolina Broadcasters Association as the state's top public affairs program.
And a good afternoon. Welcome into Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop for another edition of our Straight Talk program presented by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Our thanks to our co-sponsor today, Anderson Griggs Investments in Old Town Rock Hill. Common sense, intelligent advice for conservative investors. You can find out more online at andersongriggs.com. And our thanks to Good Pharmacy, your hometown pharmacy, Ebenezer Road at Camden Avenue in Rock Hill. So we have a table full, and I do mean a table full, of people who are all involved with scouting. Now, you might say, what are you doing here, Manning, a program on scouting? Well, first of all, I'm an old Eagle Scout, so we get to do this every once in a while. And coming up here 2 weeks from today happens to be a rather big event that the Scouts put on every year called the Distinguished Citizens Dinner. We have an interesting citizen who's not really a citizen, but he is a citizen, and you're going to hear about that in a moment. But let's go ahead and do some introductions here. And as I said, we got a table full. So you're first up. That's right, Mackenzie. Don't. They won't hurt you. Just put it a little closer to you. You got that? Okay. All right. This is Mackenzie Hoisington. She is the district director, right, for the Palmetto Council. Say something.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Manning. We're happy to be here.
All right. So tell us a little bit about you to begin with.
Sure. I am lucky enough to be a professional scouter with the Palmetto Council, have been for coming up on 3 years. I'm the district director, and just happy to be here with some of the best volunteers and an awesome Cub Scout. And thank you for having us, Manning.
So the Palmetto Council, is it Palmetto or Palmetto? Whatever. Palmetto Council is how big?
It is massive. So we are about 22 school districts. We go all the way from Spartanburg all the way to Lancaster. So,
good Lord.
In this particular district, we cover York, Chester, and Lancaster counties.
York, Chester, and Lancaster.
On this side of our...
In this side, and the rest of it is what?
Cherokee, Spartanburg, and Union counties.
All right. And inside, though, your district is how many scouters? Do you know?
Thousands.
Thousands.
We've got a good bit.
Which means she doesn't know the exact answer. She just fudged. Okay, gotcha.
Over 3,000 scouts that we serve.
3,000 in this one Palmetto Council?
Yes.
All right. And are most of those here in the York, Chester, Lancaster County area?
We do have more than half of them in our district.
More than half here?
Yes.
And how would you describe the health of scouting right now? Is it healthy?
Proud to say we are thriving. We have continued to grow our membership the past 3 years, so we are continuing to grow.
And one of the big things that changed in scouting since my days 100 years ago was, probably 3 or 4 years ago when they approved scouting to be open to both guys and gals, right?
Yes, we welcome girls as well now, and they thrive in our program. We have one of the most gender diverse councils in the state that we are really proud of, and they continue to thrive and do well, and we are so happy to have them as a part of our program.
Now, I ask you 100 questions here that just pop into my mind. When a scout is a scout, if you have to earn so many merit badges or whatever to get a rank, it's the same drill for boys and girls?
Yes.
All right. No difference?
No difference at all.
Okay. There you go. Even playing field. That's what I like. It's one thing I never quite understood about basketball. You know, women's basketball is great, but the court's a little bit, not the court, but, the ball is a little bit smaller because the hands are a little bit smaller. Did you not know that? Did not know that. Oh, but it's basketball. Okay. Anyway, so scouting is alive and well.
It is.
And we've got a very hefty, a very good response to scouting here in the York, Chester, Lancaster County area.
We do. We are very, very fortunate.
And with our population growing the way it is, I guess you expect.
As is our scouting population.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear. So scouting, everybody looks at these little things that people carry around in their pockets all the time, and all kids do is, do video games and da-da-da. But you're telling me that the kids are discovering the outdoors and they're enjoying it.
Yes, they are. We have a lot of different programs beyond just the outdoors that hopefully we'll get to talk about in a few minutes about our STEM programs as well. But they are getting outside and they are doing the programs and doing well.
Okay, so it's time to introduce the family that's here. I'm going to let you do the introductions, if you would.
Wonderful.
Start with the mother over here.
Awesome. Sitting next to me is Teresa Antonucci. She is the Cub Master of Pack 109, and she was also, I'm going to embarrass her and tell you that she was our Cub Master of the Year for our district last year. So this is Teresa Antonucci. Next to her is her husband, John Antonucci. He is on our council board. He is our STEM coordinator for the district and does a million other things as well, also a den leader in the pack. And next to him is their son, Cooper Antonucci, who is a scout, a great student, a soccer player, and a million other things as well.
All right, let's start. All right, let's do some introductions. Teresa, go right ahead.
Hello. Yeah, so I started, I guess, when Cooper was a tiger to become a volunteer in Scouts. I was the stay-at-home mom and saw a need and stepped in and have had the time of my life being Cub Master of Pack 109. So it's been an adventure.
So please put a little bit of flavor in when you say adventure. Tell us what kinds of things.
Just, meeting new people, meeting new kids, watching them come in as shy little students and just explore their world and really grow, become little leaders.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
So the program at the Cub Scout level is focused on doing what with the young boys and girls that are in it?
So it's kindergarten through 5th grade in Cub Scouts before they move up to the troop level. They focus on, our program is actually changing starting June 1st to be very specific on what we focus on. And Mackenzie, you may have to help me, but it's citizenship, STEM is a focus, community. There are 4 areas. But it's
all good stuff.
It's very specific, yeah.
So when the kids
Outdoors.
come outdoors, love it. So when the kids come to the meeting, do we have a rule where we're going to leave the cell phones at the front door and you can pick it up when you leave?
I have only had to say something probably 2 times in 3 years. Sorry that
Really?
I've been there. And just really quick, hey, put it away. We're at a meeting now. And it's usually the older kids, who are getting ready to move up. But, yeah, it's not a problem. They're there. They're meeting friends and ready to have fun together. So technology
if somebody wants to join the Cub Scouts, how do they do that?
So the quickest way is to go to beascout.org.
Beascout.org.
Yep, very, very straightforward. And then they can search for their region and find. We meet different nights of the week, depending on what group you want to look at. And so you just find the time and the meeting place and location, everything that works for you, and go check them out.
Same thing if a parent wants to be a volunteer and wants to help
Absolutely.
out? Yeah. Interesting. All right. So, you know this guy over here next to you?
I do. This is my husband, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, Manning.
Well, wonderful to have you here as well. How did you get into scouting?
Well, I was a scout growing up, and I knew that when Cooper came along that it would be a great experience for him, not just for personal skill development, but how to be part of a community and service and going and having adventures and meeting other, like-minded people who want to be outside and, want to be part of the community.
Right. It'd be interesting to do a big old massive study on all the young men and women who have been in scouting and see where they ended up in their lives. Because I've heard some pretty interesting stories about people who have gone through Scouts and have taken on some pretty hefty positions in this country. And when they're asked about, what helped you get here, by golly, they'll go right back and talk about scouting.
Oh, yeah. It totally changes the track of your life. I mean, one of my favorite statistics is 2% of all Americans are scouts, and 82% of American astronauts were scouts. Right? Because you see, how it changes the course of your life.
Kind of says it all, doesn't it?
It does.
2% of everybody is, that's good. I like that. So what do you do professionally when you're not doing a Boy Scout, a Cub Scout, Boy Scout?
So both Teresa and I are chemists. I run a research group for a large chemical company.
Do you really?
I do.
How about that?
Yep. Yeah,
Jeez.
So I'm one of those people that commute across the state line every day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep, but
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
yeah, exactly. But love being here in Rock Hill. We've been here for 30 years.
Really?
Yep.
So do you both work for the same company as chemists?
We did, and that's how we met. Yeah.
Ah, we did.
We did. I'm no longer working. So, yeah, I put most of my time into Cub Scouts.
Well, good for you. So how many scouts do you have in your troop?
We steadily average 100.
Steadily up at 100.
We do.
That's pretty strong.
So, yeah, we've been as high as 130, 135.
So you must have some people to help you with this.
We have, right now, 28 registered leaders, which is unheard of. And I just had 2 more parents ask how they could be volunteers and get involved.
Well, get yourself a Cub Scout shirt and you're ready to go.
Oh, I don't hesitate. Here's your application.
Yeah, but what Teresa won't tell you is her superpower is empowerment and leadership development. So
Let people do what they're good at.
Well, that's true. And let them do it.
Absolutely.
And let them make a mistake. That's how you learn, right?
I learn a lot.
So was it hard? I know the answer to this. Stupid question, but I'll ask it anyway. Was it hard to draft Cooper into Scouts?
no, he was pretty much all in from day one.
He was programmed.
Yeah, but I'm his den leader, right? So that means I and 4 other co-leaders, we work with the 3rd graders. And he's got 25 colleagues in the bear den, right? So he's got a lot of other kids that he's playing with every day, and they've gotten to know each other pretty well. So getting him to go to Scouts is not an effort.
Not a problem. So the 2 of you are in the same troop? Is that right? The 109 and the 109?
Correct. So I'm the Cub Master, so I'm kind of like over the leaders.
Okay.
So I make sure that they have all the resources they need to do their programming, and then they split up into the different age levels, which we call a den.
Okay.
And they run their own meetings every Monday.
So this is just like at home. You're bossing him.
Exactly, yep. Except I have to salute.
Well, we haven't brought in the youngest member of the table here. Here we go. Buckle your seatbelts and get ready. This is young Cooper Antonucci.
Yes.
How are you, Cooper?
Good.
Tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm also in Pack 109. I am a bear, as
You don't look like a bear. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
as John said. I am indeed in his den.
Here's Dan.
He is my den leader.
Does he cut you any slack because you're his son? No.
I don't know.
Is he a little hard, maybe harder on you than he is on the others?
No, kind of easier on me than
Ooh.
all the others.
We're going
We'll
to
have
change
to
that,
change
right?
that,
We'll have to change that. So what do you enjoy most about Scouts?
I enjoy how we go camping and just sleeping under a rocket ship and
Sleeping under a rocket ship?
yeah. We went to NASA and slept under a space shuttle that actually went to use in outer space. And if you join Scouts, you can get more information on that.
Golly, hey, there's a commercial. Well done. Well done. No kidding. Sleep under a real spaceship.
Yep.
That was cool. So when we talk about things that you do with the Scouts, you have meetings, what are they, weekly meetings that you have?
During the school year, we meet every Monday.
Every Monday. And these outings that you do, camping and going down to NASA, I mean.
That's all extra,
Yeah,
obviously.
I got that. But, I mean, how often do you try to make outdoor activities on the schedule?
Well, through
Once
the
a
council,
quarter or once?
probably, once a quarter, if not more. It kind of depends on what sparks our interest at the moment. But every fall, we have a large district gold rush camporee. So it's all of the packs from the York district get together every fall,
Right.
and we fill up a giant field full of tents and just have all kinds of group activities and fun together. And then in the spring, we try to, as a pack, we're getting ready to go camping at Chester State Park soon. And
Great park. Great park.
we went to the Georgia Aquarium over When did we do that? That was just
About a month ago.
Yeah, feels like it was yesterday. We try to do a bunch of different activities to get lots of people involved.
So when the scouts are out at these gatherings, whether it be just your troop or a big congregation, so people understand, we're not bringing in sandwiches from Substation 2. We're cooking out there in the field, right?
We
Yeah,
do.
we cook out there, and scouts try to make their own meals sometimes.
What kind of meal do you make?
It depends on how I'm feeling.
Or what's in the what's there at the site, right? You got to have the right ingredients to make something.
Yeah.
Okay. You know how to build a fire?
A little, but I haven't learned in Cub Scouts. I've learned from my dad a little.
Okay. Well, you either know how to do it or you don't know how to do it.
In Scouts, you have to be at the troop level to do a fire.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so third graders they have a lot of responsibility. They can carry a knife, right? And learn their knife skills, but they're still working their way up to some of the bigger skills.
That's great. So, bottom line of all this is scouting is good. Well, it's good for the soul, number one, but it's also good in terms of taking youngsters like Cooper over here and others and giving them a baseline of what's right to do in this world. I mean, I remember the Scout Oath to this day. I don't know if I can recite the whole thing, but I do remember it. And I remember the pledge and all the Scout pledge. On my honor, I do my best to do my duty to God and country, obey the Scout law. Something like that.
Yep.
I think I forgot the rest of it after that. But
that's pretty close.
Cooper can refresh your memory if you need to.
But, I mean, it's those kinds of standards and skills and values. Values is probably the best way to put this.
Absolutely.
That each one of these young boys and young girls can come out of with scouting. It's going to happen. But you got to get your kid involved, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our mid-program break. And we're going to remind everybody what we do here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop, which is fresh subs and salads. And we do it, you know what? Do it 6 days a week. 6 days a week. And we do it between 10 in the morning and 9 at night. How do we do it is in these letters that we're all going to recite at the count of 3. All right? You can see these here. You're scouts. You're very smart and very intelligent. At the count of 3, how do we do this? Slice, slice, slice,
slice. Garden, garden, garden.
Back after these words.
If it's 12:30, it's Straight Talk on WRHI and CN2.
There are lots of reasons why people like dining at Substation 2.
A good deal for a delicious sandwich.
Quality of the food. I get what I want. It tastes great every time.
Hit the spot, definitely. It's amazing.
I'm Charlie Ruffalo, and I guarantee you'll feel the same way after eating here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop.
Relax with a discounted mortgage rate from Founders Federal Credit Union without paying for discount points. For a limited time, don't pay the 1% fee and get the lower rate. And don't forget, Founders never charges for PMI or private mortgage insurance. Unlock your dream home with a great rate and a Founders expert to guide you through the home financing process. Stop by a convenient office location or apply on Founders online by May 31st to lock in your lower rate. Visit foundersfcu.com/mortgage to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required. Equal housing lender.
Emergency care close to home. The team at Piedmont Medical Center has the advanced training to handle your medical emergencies, and we're making it easier for you to access care every day. For non-life-threatening problems, online ER check-in is available at all our emergency room locations, meaning less waiting room time, more peace of mind. Simply visit PiedmontMedicalCenter.com, pick a time you want to be seen, and then wait at home while we hold your place. For life-threatening emergencies, call 911. Piedmont Medical Center, a community built on care.
When disaster strikes, one of the most important things is getting life back to normal. A little compassion can go a long way. Paul Davis is here for you. Paul Davis is committed to handling any property damage with exceptional care because what we do is about more than property. It's about people. We have the training and expertise necessary to completely restore your property fast. For all your cleanup and restoration needs, call the experts at Paul Davis Restoration at 329-1140 or find us online at pauldavisrockhill.com.
Our common sense investing is not designed to take your life savings, roll the dice, and make you rich. We design a plan to keep the standard of living you have grown accustomed to the same throughout your retirement, be it 20, 30, or even 40 more years. Anderson Griggs Investments, 324-5044, or online at andersongriggs.com.
Introducing 2 new high-speed internet options. Comporium has created 2 new levels of service that give you access to fast, reliable internet for a remarkably low monthly price. Whether you prefer the Lite or the Essential plan, you can do everything you want online without spending too much. Prices start at $29.94 per month for Lite internet, and Essential internet is under $50. Both plans offer fast internet and free virus protection. Call Comporium today to sign up. 833-619-1848.
Have you ever wondered why so many people enjoy dining at Substation 2?
I love their fresh meats and the sweet wheat bread.
The bread, their quality meats, and their prices.
It's just always a great, consistent meal.
I'm Charlie Ruffalo, and I guarantee you'll feel the same way after eating here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop.
Straight Talk on WRHI FM 100.1 and CN2 is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders.
And back we are here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop, a table full of scouters. Yes, we do. We have Mackenzie Hosington, who is the district director for the Palmetto Council. We have Teresa, John, and Cooper. Antonucci, the whole family is here. They're all involved with scouting. Teresa and John are, I want to call you scout masters. That's not right. Troop leaders. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Pack leaders.
Yeah, we got to remember that. It works
Pack
better
leaders.
when you're talking pack leaders. Okay. And then we have Cooper over here, who's in Cub Scouts. And I just said to Cooper, I said, Cooper, you are going to tell us that you're going to become an Eagle Scout. And you said what?
I won't stop until I do.
And we wanted to make sure that got recorded because
Thank you for that.
Because when you start to waffle, what was your dad said, perfume and fumes of cars or something like that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
right.
the number one reason Scouts don't make Eagle, right? They get distracted. They get the fumes, perfume and gasoline.
That's great. Okay, let's get back over here to Mackenzie. So, Mackenzie, this is all about a big major fundraiser that you do annually called the Distinguished Citizens Dinner. So tell me all about this.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. So that is coming up in 2 weeks, our Distinguished Citizens Dinner. That is happening on May 15th at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. This year we are so excited. We are honoring WRHI and all of their contributions and really highlighting folks like you, Manning, and Alan Miller, and all that you guys do for our community. This being a prime example, just constantly highlighting and uplifting local nonprofits and youth. We are so grateful for that. So that dinner will be, like I said, May 15th. If you're interested in finding out more information or looking to attend or find ways to get involved, I invite you to visit palmettocouncil.org. It will be at the Rock Hill Sports and Events Center. We'll have a 5:30 social hour and then a 6:30 dinner and program. And all of this is to benefit local scouting programs in York, Chester, and Lancaster counties. So we are so excited to honor WRHI and also just celebrate serving, y'all serving for 80 years. We are really excited to be.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is our 80th anniversary here. 80 years old. Woo! I'm not quite 80 years old yet, but getting there. But the station, 80 years of community service, and we're very pleased to have the Scouts recognize that and to be part of this big event because it generates dollars so that the council can do what it needs to do during the course of the year. Because as you point out, Mackenzie, your army is an army of volunteers.
Right.
But it still takes some professional staff to make it all work, right?
It does.
Okay.
It's not a whole lot of us professional staff. It's volunteers like John and Teresa that make it all happen on the day-to-day basis. But it does take resources beyond just them as well.
So you do this distinguished service banquet here, and you also do it in the other district. Is that right?
We do. We do occasionally do it on that side, too. This year we're doing it a little bit different on that side. We're doing Flags for Heroes, which we also are going to bring to this side later this fall, where folks can purchase flags to honor a hero in their life, whether that's a veteran, a teacher, or just somebody that's made an impact on them.
Sure. So we were talking off air, about scouting, and I feel so strongly about scouting. I wish there was some kind of a requirement that would be that every young man, every young woman would have, a couple of years of scouting minimum just to get some of these values in their head. Yes. And you mentioned something very interesting here, John, about a state law that I knew nothing about. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so last year the state of South Carolina passed a law to give access to the school systems for patriotic organizations. So it was specifically designed to help organizations like Scouting access the students in the schools and let them know about organizations like the Scouts so that they can build their citizenship and service and awareness of joining that organization.
Boy, I tell you, that's refreshing to hear, because when you hear the lunacy that's going on across the country right now and what schools are allowing and not allowing and trying to teach and not teach, we don't have that here, thank heavens. And I'm glad the governor has signed this law into being, because, Mackenzie, one of the things that you do at the beginning of every school year, I don't know how you pull this off, but you go into all the school districts. Tell me about that.
Yes. So to John's point about the law, we are so grateful for that law. I think that'll be helpful for a lot of part of the states. I will say, in our particular district, we are grateful that we don't really need to utilize it. We have really phenomenal relationships with our school districts in the York district, so York, Chester, and Lancaster County. So we don't really need to leverage that, and we are so thankful for that. But yes, we do visit every single elementary classroom in our district in the fall, so typically the second week of school. And we tell them a bit about Cub Scouts. We remind them that boys, girls, everyone is welcome to join. And then we invite them back to bring their adults at home to take them the next night to come learn more about Scouts at what we call a Join Scout night. So then they can come learn more about what the program is, how wonderful it is, and the nitty-gritty details.
And how does that work out? I mean, normally, do you get a good response to that?
We do. So, for example, last year I was at Pleasant Knoll Middle School. We invited from a couple elementary schools. We just pulled them to the middle schools to make it easier on our volunteer base and staff base. We had easily 150 people in that cafeteria come out from 3 elementary schools. Same thing happens in Rock Hill. We go to every single elementary school. We invite them back to every single elementary school. We have a Join Scout night at each the 11 elementary schools in Rock Hill. So it takes a lot of staff to do that, but we still have pretty full cafeterias the next night at 11 elementary schools. So
That's
it
wonderful.
really works well. It's a good formula, and it's a great way to get kids excited and kids engaged.
So if you were, John, standing before a whole bunch of parents at one of these elementary schools who are kind of looking at you cross-eyed about this thing called scouting, and you had an opportunity to say, let me tell you why I think this is important. What do you think you'd say to them?
Yeah, I guess in practical terms, the first thing people worry about is time and money, right? Do they have the time to do it? Do they have the funds? And, Scouts is designed to be economically approachable, right? So between popcorn fundraising, which you'll see with the Scouts in the fall, especially out in front of businesses that support us like Lowe's and Sam's Club, right? You'll see the Scouts out there trying to raise money to support what they're doing in Scouts. So, that's the first thing, is kind of wipe that out of your mind. And second is, the Scouts are really focused on making sure that families and the Scouts themselves connect with the outdoors, that they're comfortable supporting the environment, our national parks, our national lands, our state lands. And then growing skill sets in career development, especially in STEM, helping the U.S. with our return to manufacturing mindset, and then just generally understanding the community structure and how to be good citizens.
I would say we would give you a big round of applause for that. Well said. Well said. Well, listen, thank you all for being here. The half hour has flown right by. Again, the Distinguished Citizens Banquet is going to be on the 15th of May. What's, again, the website or something to go to?
PalmettoCouncil.org.
PalmettoCouncil.org. And if you love WRHI, go get yourself a ticket and be there, because it's all about 80 years of broadcasting. Thank you all for being here, and thanks for what Scouts and you all do to make scouting wonderful. And that's going to wrap up our Straight Talk program, live from Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop, presented by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax here with Founders. And, of course, by Anderson Griggs Investments in Old Town Rock Hill. Common sense, intelligent advice for conservative investors. You can find out more online at andersongriggs.com. And our thanks to Piedmont Medical Center, a community built on care. You can find out more about them online at PiedmontMedicalCenter.com. All right. You all did such a great job, the Antonucci family, that we are going to give you an opportunity to show that skill set one more time. We do fresh subs and salads, and we do it 6 days a week between 10 a and 9 p. here at Substation 2, Cherry Road across from Winthrop. How do we do it? At the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Slice, 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 garden, garden, garden.
Nicely done. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow. Bye.